Introduction. Today, most children play any sport they like. Boys and girls play together on teams during recess or after school. This was not always true. Before the 20th century, girls weren't allowed to play many sports. In fact, many people thought that only men were supposed to be athletic. According to them, women had a different role. They took care of their homes and families. The picture says, female athletes like these 1943 players in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League used to have to wear skirts when they played. In blue in the picture on page 3, it reads, nowadays, girls wear regular uniforms when they play organized sports. In the early 1900s, ideas about what women could do began to change. Women joined teams for baseball and basketball sponsored by clubs, schools, or their workplace. But it wasn't easy for women athletes. Many people gaped in shock at them. They couldn't understand why a woman would want to play sports like a man. At a young age, Babe Didrikson decided to be the greatest athlete that ever lived. She didn't care about people who criticized her. She cared about playing and about winning. Chapter 1. The Early Years. Mildred Ella Didrikson was born on June 26, 1914 in Port Arthur, Texas. Mildred's father built a gym for his children in the backyard. The children played many sports, including baseball. Mildred was a good hitter, so the boys started calling her Babe after the legendary baseball player Babe Ruth. Ruth was famous for hitting home runs. It was no fluke that Babe Didrikson became a good athlete. Babe's father read newspaper articles about the 1928 Olympic Games allowed to his children. Babe was 14 years old at the time. She began to dream about competing in the Olympics someday. In blue under the picture it reads, Babe was one of 7 children. At the top in blue it reads, Port Arthur was known for its huge oil refining plants. Babe attended high school during the late 1920s. She excelled in every sport she tried. At only 5 feet, 152 centimeters tall, and 105 pounds, 48 kilograms, Babe was small, but she was strong. Some classmates laughed at Babe for playing sports all the time, but no one was snickering when she played. Babe was really good. And when she won, she boasted about it. Many people thought that girls were supposed to be modest and quiet about their achievements. Not Babe. She was different. In 1930, an insurance company offered Babe a job. Actually, the company wanted her to play on its basketball team, the Golden Cyclones. Babe's parents knew that their daughter wanted to compete as an athlete, but she was still in high school. Babe's parents allowed her to take the job. Within the year, she was named an All-American women's basketball player. Babe also joined the insurance company's swimming and diving teams. Then she convinced the company to start a track and field team. Instant fame came on July 16, 1932. The Golden Cyclones track team entered the National Amateur Track Meet for women in Illinois. The team had only one member, Babe. At the bottom of the page it reads, Track and Field. By 1928, women were finally allowed to compete in track and field events at the Olympics. Track and field events include hurdles, high jump, javelin, discus throw, and shot put. The top of page 7, it says, Babe competed in 8 of the 10 events, including the hurdles, high jump, javelin, and shot put. Babe scored 30 points and won first place. The team in second place had more than 20 members and scored only 22 points. At that track meet, Babe won 6 first-place medals and broke 4 world records. At 18, Babe reached her dream. She was chosen to join the 1932 U.S. Olympic track and field team. Babe was going to the Olympics. Up in the corner on the note it says, Babe wrote about July 16, 1932. It was one of those days in an athlete's life when you know you're just right. You feel you could fly. You're like a feather floating on air. Chapter 2. Early Success. The 1932 Olympics were held in Los Angeles, California. There were only 5 individual track and field events open to women. Each woman could enter only 3 of those events. Babe chose the javelin, hurdles, and high jump. She won the gold medal for the javelin event, and she set a new world record at 143 feet and 4 inches, 44 meters. Under the picture below, it says in blue, Babe was the first woman to win medals in 3 Olympic events. At the top of page 9, there's a table, and it reads, Women's Participation in the Olympics, 1896 to 2004. After I'm done reading the page, take a moment to look over the table. It shows you the year, how many sports women participated in, how many events, how many countries, different countries the women were from, and how many participants. Going on page 9. Waiting for the hurdle event to start, Babe was so nervous that she jumped the gun. Everyone had to start over again. If she started to run before the gun fired again, she would be disqualified. She decided to be safe. She waited until everyone else had started to run before she took off, and she still won. Now she had 2 gold medals. Babe wasn't as lucky in the high jump. She was tied for first place. With the bar at a new height, both Babe and her opponent easily jumped over it, but the judges said that Babe dived headfirst over the bar. This was not allowed. Babe's final jump didn't count. She came in second place, winning a silver medal. Babe returned home from the Olympics a hero. Only a few American women had ever won Olympic gold medals before her. She became popular with reporters. They loved her sense of humor, and Babe was outspoken and said whatever she felt. But some people muttered that Babe was too outspoken. Many people might have been hurt by this, but Babe never flinched. She didn't let insults stop her. At the end of 1932, Babe received the Woman Athlete of the Year award. She would go on to win that award 5 more times. But despite all of Babe's success, she didn't have many chances to make money with her talents. At that time, all Olympic athletes were amateurs. Babe was determined to make a career as an athlete. She became a professional. This meant that she couldn't compete in amateur tournaments anymore. But she could do other things. She became an entertainer and toured with a stage show. She ran, hit golf balls, and jumped hurdles. She even sang and played the harmonica. The audiences loved her. But Babe missed being outdoors and playing team sports. She started the Babe Didrikson's All-American baseball team and toured with them for a few years. The team played against men's amateur teams and did well. The paper reads, The House of David. Babe became so famous that she was asked to play baseball with a men's team called the House of David. All the men wore long beards in order to attract more attention to the team. Babe made $1,000 a month when she played with the team. This was during the Great Depression of the 1930s, a time when many people struggled to make a living. Chapter 3, A New Sport and a New Life. Babe had excelled in track and field and in baseball. She was ready for a new challenge. She decided to play golf. Again, she was determined to be the best. She practiced hard. She entered a few tournaments and did very well. The male golfers would laugh to themselves when Babe arrived at the golf course, but they knew how good she was. Okay, Babe's here, they'd say. Who's coming in second? In 1938, Babe met George Zaharias, a successful wrestler. They married that same year. In blue next to the picture it says, Most women golfers concentrated on being graceful as they swung, but not Babe. At the top of page 13 next to the picture it says, A reporter once wrote, The plain fact is that Miss Didrikson is a vastly better golfer than any other woman we have seen. She can hit the ball farther than all but a very few men. Going on. Babe's golf career was very successful. She was named the Female Athlete of the Year for 3 years in a row, 1945 to 1947. In 1946, she won 13 tournaments in a row. In 1947, she became the first American woman to win the British Amateur Tournament. At the time, it was hard to make a living as a woman golfer. George, Babe, and other women golfers wanted to increase the opportunities for women to make a career out of playing golf. In 1948, they created the Ladies Professional Golf Association, LPGA. The LPGA Tour began in 1950. Babe became the leading player for the next few years. Chapter 4, A New Challenge. In the early 1950s, Babe was not feeling well, but she still entered a tournament that was named after her, the Babe Zaharias Open. Amazingly, Babe won. Soon after, she learned that she had cancer. To Babe, this was just one more challenge. She had surgery. 14 weeks later, Babe won her third U.S. Women's Open golf tournament. She also received her 6th Woman Athlete of the Year award. Along the bottom of pages 14 and 15, you'll see a timeline about Babe Didrikson. It'll show when she was born, some of her achievements, and then when she passed away in 1956 at the age of 42. At the top of 15, it reads, Babe continued to play golf. She also started writing her autobiography, The Life I've Led. The book was published in 1955. At the end of the book, Babe thanked her many friends and the people who helped her. She wrote, Winning has always meant much to me, but winning friends has meant the most. Babe died in 1956. She was 42 years old. Next to the picture, it reads in blue, Here's Babe on the final hole of the Women's All-American Golf Tournament in 1950. Chapter 5, Babe's Legacy. Babe Didrikson Zaharias continues to be recognized for her achievements. In 1999, ESPN named her among the top 50 North American athletes of the past 100 years. Only 7 women were on the list. Babe was 10th, and the only woman in the top 10. There are also awards in Babe's name. The town of Beaumont, Texas honors outstanding female track athletes each year with the Babe Zaharias Award. The Mildred Babe Didrikson Zaharias Courage Award is given to male and female athletes who have triumphed over hardships and gone on to be successful in a sport. The Babe Zaharias Journalism Award is given each year to a sports journalist for his or her work as a writer. Under the picture on page 16 in blue, it reads, The U.S. Postal Service honored Babe with this stamp in 1981. At the top of page 17 in blue next to the picture, it reads, Women athletes have come a long way since the days of baseball players in skirts. Athletes like Babe helped make a place for women in sports. In 1972, Congress passed Title IX. It was modeled after the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This legislation banned sex discrimination in athletics and academics in schools. Schools had to offer equal opportunities in sports and education to both boys and girls. Title IX also helped many women get scholarships to help them pay for school. On the note below, it reads, As a result of Title IX, schools have to provide the following to female athletes: financial aid, equipment, practice time, opportunities for tutoring and coaching, and transportation, athletic programs. Today, women are involved in sports that people once thought were too dangerous for them. These sports include marathon running, race car driving, and weightlifting. In 1996, the Olympics added women's soccer and softball events. The sports world has many successful female athletes. Their lives and achievements prove, just as Babe did, that it takes determination and confidence to succeed. Under the pictures, there's Tegla LaRoupe, Maya Hamm, and Serena Williams. The note at the bottom says, All of my life, I have always had the urge to do things better than anybody else. Babe Didrikson Zaharias.